Here we have our lesson on the metric system. So the metric system works very similarly to the English system. The English system is what we use generally here in America. When we refer to how heavy someone is, we say the pound, that's mass. We talk about distance in feet, volume in gallons, or galloons, as I have here. Temperature, we use degrees Fahrenheit, and time, we use the second. And the metric system, which is what most of the rest of the world uses, and what we're going to use in science, for mass we measure with the gram, symbolized little g. For distance we use the meter, symbolized little m. For volume we use the liter, capital L. Temperature we use Kelvin. That may be an unfamiliar unit to you. That's all right. We're going to work with it a little bit this year. We use big K. Something else to point out, notice there is no degree sign for Kelvin. There is a degree sign for Celsius, there is a degree sign for Fahrenheit, but not for Kelvin. And finally, for time, we use second. Finally, something that's the same in both English and the metric system. All right, different conversions that we use. In the English system, we have to memorize that 12 inches is 1 foot, 3 feet in a yard, 5,280 feet in a mile, 16 ounces in a pound, 16 fluid ounces in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. A lot of mismatching type of conversions here. In the metric system, it's all base 10. So we do have to memorize the prefixes. So for example, mega with a capital M is 1 million times the base. So if you say a megameter, that means you have 1 million meters. Kilo with a little k is 1,000 times the base. Deci with a little d is 0.1 times the base. Centi with a little c is 0.01 times the base. Milli with a little m, and that's why capitalization matters. Mega was big M, little m is milli. Milli is 1,000th of the base. Micro, and this little symbol here that looks like a U with 2 tails, is the Greek letter mu. We've already used big M for mega, lowercase m for milli, so for micro, another M word, we had to go to the Greek alphabet and borrow mu. Kind of looks like a U with 2 tails. Micro is 1 millionth times the base. Smaller than that even, we have the nano, which is 1 billionth of the base, and finally pico, which is 1 trillionth the base. Please take the time needed to memorize these prefixes and what they stand for. You will be expected to use them in this class quite often, so take the time needed, memorize both what the unit is and its symbol and what it represents. How does it work? Well, in the English system, we might ask, how many inches in a mile? We have to set that up. 1 mile, convert mile to feet, and then feet to inches. Multiply across the top, divide the bottom. It's always easy when you're working with 1. 5,280 feet times 12 inches in a foot, 63,360 inches in 1 mile. The metric system works exactly the same. How many kilometers in a centimeter? Well, we set it up, we're asking for kilometers. We have 1 centimeter. I always like to go, again, I think centi is 1/100th. So 1/100th of the meter is a centimeter. And then 1,000 meters is a kilometer. That's what that K stands for. It stands for 1,000 times the base. So 1,000 times the base. So 1 times 0.01 divided by 1,000 equals 1 times 10 to the negative 5th kilometers equals 1 centimeter. So both systems work very much the same. I won't tell you one's easier than the other. If you know them both, I think you'd agree that the metric system is definitely easier. Everything's base 10. The problem is we're Americans and we're all much more familiar with the English system. So I can't tell you that the metric system is in fact easier. It may not be any easier. If you already have the English system memorized, the metric system is going to be harder. Nevertheless, It is the system we use in science, so it is something you're going to have to get familiar with, and we're going to spend several days working with getting familiar of making metric conversions. So sorry for the work, but you're going to have to do it. It is science class. Other useful, often used and useful conversions that you'll want to memorize. In the volume category, 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. That allows us to go from between volumes. 1 cubic decimeter is equal to 1 liter. Again, allows us to convert between volumes pretty easily. And finally, Kelvin is 273 more than whatever your degree Celsius is. So if I told you it is 20 degrees Celsius outside, you could say, well, very easily, 20 plus 273 means it's 293 Kelvin. Remember, no degree sign in Kelvin, so just 293 Kelvin. Any English system that you needed for any problems will be provided to you, so you do not have to memorize any of your English system if you haven't already. Just the metric system is what you'll need for this class.